Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of linear equations and the distributive property. This is standard A.5A in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 8 of the 2016 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we need to find the value of x that makes this equation true. And we've got two choices. We do have 4 answer choices to select from, so if we wanted to be kind of lazy, we could just take each of these x values, plug them in, and see which one makes a true statement. But it's better to practice how to actually solve for x. And so we're going to use this acronym, Don't Call Me After Midnight. That's going to give us our 5 steps. So first we're going to distribute. We need to use the distributive property. So that means we need to, it looks like it's just that -2 right there. We need to distribute that out so we can get that out of the parentheses here. So I'm going to rewrite this -5x. And really, I guess it is, we do have a -1 right there, if we want to think like that. So we do need to distribute that out as well. It says negative, but you can always put a 1 out there. So -1 times -7 is going to give you a +7. Then that -1 times -4x is going to give you a +4x. Do the same thing over here. -2 times 3x is -6x. And then -2 times -4, 2 negatives make a +8. Okay, so we have the simplified version here. We've got the parentheses out of here. And so what we need to do next after we distribute is we need to combine. Do we see any like terms? Really, it's just this one and this one right here on that side. So we've got a -5x and a +4x. That's going to end up being a -x, just a -1x, plus 7, -x, -6x plus 8. Okay, so we've combined. Now we need to move. We need to get the x's all together, and if possible, we're going to need to make it positive. So you know what? Let's go ahead and let's add 6x to both sides, because that's going to get rid of this over here. Now I've got a 6x minus x. That's going to end up being 5x plus 7 equals 8. Now we need to continue to isolate that variable, and we've got two options. We either add or subtract. That comes first, so let's subtract here. -7. That's going to get rid of that. So it's 5x equals 1. And then we either multiply or divide. Usually it's going to end up being a divide, but that's fine. So we need to divide both sides by 5. And it looks like we could just leave it like that. It looks like x equals 1/5. Okay, so looks like J. How do we double check? Let's plug it back in. So in order for x to equal 1/5, I should be able to substitute that 1/5 in to the original equation, and let's see what happens. So -5 times 1/5 is going to end up being -5/5. We can simplify that to -1, and I need to still distribute this out, so it's going to be a negative times -7. That's going to be a +7, and a negative times -4. That's going to end up being a +4/5. And over here, I've still got that 3 times 1/5, so that's -3/5. So it's, I'm just going to write it like this. -2 times 3/5, I can do that in 2 steps, minus the 4. So we can simplify this to -1 plus 7. Let's just add those 7 and 4/5. And that's going to be -2 times 3/5. So that's going to be -6/5. And that's -2 times -4, that's +8. So let's see if these two equal each other out. Well, really, this is 7 and 4/5 on the left side minus 1, so that's 6 and 4/5. Okay, so let's see what we have here. I'm going to rewrite this as 8 minus, so I can get that minus back there, minus 6/5, or I can rewrite that as 1 and 1/5, because it is a mixed number. And guess what? 8 minus 1 is 7, and then 7 minus that 1/5 is going to be 6 and 4/5. So that equals out J.